My name is Caitlin. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm talking about the reading rush. And the reading rush, in case you don't know, is basically a readathon that's happening from July 20th? July 20th and the 26th. And it's a week-long readathon where it's basically a challenge to read as much as you can. And I hope that a lot of you, even if you don't plan on reading a million books, use it as an opportunity to read more than usual. So maybe you can challenge yourself to read 30 minutes a day, which makes a huge difference. Maybe you can challenge yourself to finish that one book you started months ago and haven't finished yet. You can really cater it to kind of fit your own reading goals, and I really encourage you to do that. What I'm going to do, I am lucky enough to have off of work next week, which I'm so excited about, because it means I can read all the time. So my goal is to read 7 books next week, a book a day. That's my goal. If you are interested in participating in the reading rush, please let me know if you are. And I'm going to link a bunch of information below for you. They have a YouTube, they have a website, which is great. They have an Instagram, a Twitter. Everything is basically a place where we can all get together and talk about books for a week, and it's magical. They also set up 7 challenges to kind of help add an extra layer of gaminess to this reading challenge. And so I'm going to tell you my book picks for each challenge and what I'm planning on reading for next week. So I'm very much a mood reader. So a lot of these I'm giving myself a few options. Some of them also, I read most, if not all of my books from the library. So some of these are like they should be here on time, but in case they aren't here on time, I have backups. So let's just get into it. The first challenge is to read a book with a color on the cover that matches the color of your birthstone. And my birthstone is an emerald, so I was looking for some green stuff, and this is probably one of my most anticipated books of the year, and everyone's been raving about it, and I simply cannot wait to read it. It's A Song of Race and Ruin by Roseanne Brown, and this is a YA fantasy book that's enemies to lovers, that's like a political drama, that's based on African folklore. And I just, like, every single person that has read this book so far has given it 5 stars, and I can't wait. I cannot wait. However, that is one book that I am waiting for at the library, and it may or may not come on time. So if it doesn't come on time, my backup plan is to read My Sister, the Serial Killer by Oyinkan Braithwaite. And this is a thriller, and I've heard that it's a very fast read. It's a book that once you start, you cannot put down. It's about a girl whose sister is a serial killer. And yeah, that's all I really need to know about it. If it's about serial killers, I'll read it. The second challenge is to read a book that title starts with the, and I have 2 options for this one. The first one is The Half God of Rainfall by Inua Ellams, and this was in my July TBR. I honestly just got this book because the cover is beautiful. I think it's a play. We're gonna find out. If that one doesn't pan out, if I don't get into that one, or if I just want to read another book, my other option is The Body Is Not an Apology by Sonya Renee Taylor, and this cover is one of my favorites. It's simply magical, and this is a book that explores how self-love and love of our own bodies can really spark systemic change and revolution, and I'm very much looking forward to this one. The third challenge is to read a book that inspired a movie you've already seen but haven't read the book version. And this one, I'm beginning to realize something about myself, is that I don't watch a lot of movies. I don't watch a lot of TV shows. One book that has inspired a movie that I have seen that I really enjoyed is Klansman by Stallworth. This is a nonfiction book, true story, about a black man that goes undercover in the KKK. And the movie was brilliant, and so I'm hoping the book is also brilliant. I can't imagine why it wouldn't be. The fourth challenge is to read the first book you touch, which was a little difficult for me because I only own a few books, so I couldn't just like close my eyes and touch a book. So instead, I decided to make a list of all the books that I want to read, and I closed my eyes and went like that. And the book I chose was Felon which is a poetry collection by Reginald, Dwayne, Betts. I'm really looking forward to reading some poetry. It's been really inspiring me lately, and of course poetry is a great thing to add to a readathon list because it's short and rather quick to get through. The fifth book is, the challenge is to read outside of your home because we're all stuck inside and it will be nice to get outside. Obviously, if you go in public, wear a mask or don't leave your house. I plan on just reading outside. I also like to listen to audiobooks while I run in the morning, so that's probably what I'll do here. I do have an audiobook, Medical Apartheid by Harriet A. Washington, to read, and this is like a comprehensive history of experimentation of African Americans in the United States, like experimentation on their bodies and medical experimentation, which is truly horrifying. And I think it's something that we hear about and we're like, oh, only Nazis did that. No, Americans did that. We did that to people. And I know nothing about this, so I think it's really, really important for me to educate myself on that. Another possibility for this book to read outside is If They Come For Us by Fatimah Asghar. And this is another poetry collection, which I think would be really nice to read outside. This is about living as a Muslim American. The sixth challenge is to read a book from a genre you've always wanted to read more of. And I have a few options here. The first one is a short story collection. I love writing short stories, but I don't read enough short stories, and I think reading more will help me write more. And the short story collection that I want to read next is The Phoenix First Must Burn, edited by Patrice Caldwell, and this is a collection of fantastical short stories that feature Black characters. Again, this TBR is just full of beautiful covers, and that makes me excited because I always judge books by their covers because I think it's important. The other option, something I want to read more of, is YA contemporary. That's probably my least read genre of books, but I usually actually end up loving the ones I read. I just don't read them enough. And the one I want to read is The Black Flamingo by Dean Atta, and this is a book that has been making its rounds. The cover, again, is gorgeous. So honestly, I don't know exactly what this book's about, but I'm going to read you the book description, and maybe that will help us both understand. The book description on Goodreads is: I masquerade in makeup and feathers and I am applauded. A boy comes to terms with his identity as a mixed-race gay teen. Then at university he finds his wings as a drag artist, the Black Flamingo. A bold story about the power of embracing your uniqueness. Sometimes we need to take charge, to stand up wearing pink feathers, to show ourselves to the world in bold color. Which just sounds delightful. And finally, the last challenge is to read a book that takes place on a different continent than where you live. And both of my choices, my options here, take place in the continent of Africa. The first option is A Moonless Starless Sky by Alexis Okewo. And this explores women in different parts of Africa who are standing up to oppressive regimes and fighting for their own freedom. And I think there's 4 different stories in here. The last book that I have on my TBR is Small Country by Gail Fay, and this is a fiction book. It's a coming-of-age story that takes place in Rwanda during the Rwandan genocide, and obviously I think it's going to be very impactful. So those are all the books that I plan on reading next week. Honestly, I've been in a big reading slump the last couple weeks, so I'm really hoping that this just like pushes me out of that, and I'm so excited to just read all the time. It's gonna be so fun, and I think I'm going to kind of document / vlog my journey. That sounds so dramatic. I'm gonna post Instagram stories throughout the week and let you know how I'm doing. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, you can do that. And while you're at it, let's be friends. Let me know what you're reading. If you're participating, share your TBR video down below. I want to meet new people. I want to talk about books with you. And yeah, I hope you have an amazing, gorgeous, wonderful day, and I'll see you all next week.